Okay, so we're in grammar and it's going to be page 153.
Hang on, 157, I thought.
Oh, yeah, you're right, 157. Thank you. $157, there we go. Okay, so it's a review page, which is nice. And we're talking about two different openers today, the prepositional and the clausal openers. You probably remember the prepositional phrases don't have a verb. They only have a noun. And then the clausal, any of the clauses like who, which clause, or that clause, or adverb clause, all of those have subject and verb. So that's the main difference between those two, but these are openers, so it's a little bit different. A number two prepositional opener is a sentence that begins. Let's see, I'm showing you the teacher's edition here. Let me switch that. There we go. That begins with a prepositional phrase. And it says, write the pattern for a number two prepositional opener. So let me get my plastic here. And you probably already know this, but the prepositional pattern is a preposition plus a noun. So we'll just write that in on the line here.
Okay.
Preposition plus a noun. And then I'm just going to put in parentheses, no verb, like we talked about, because that's important to remember. And then a number five, clausal opener, is a sentence that begins with the www word, www.asia.b. So when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because, and it contains a subject and a verb. So the pattern for a clausal opener is www word plus subject plus verb. So those are the two patterns.
Okay.
Some words can begin with either a number two prepositional opener or a number five clausal opener. Always check for a verb. If there is a verb, it's a clause. If there's not a verb, it is a prepositional phrase. Complete the following sentences using the verbs and nouns in the list or words of your choice. Include a subject, noun, and verb to complete number five. Clausal openers include a noun or article plus noun to complete number two prepositional openers. You may add other words to complete the thought. Okay, on the side here is your list of verbs and nouns. Those are just suggestions, but I'm just going to we'll talk about the first one together, and then I'll just have you give me ideas for the rest of them. But on the side, you can see twos and fives. Those are already labeled for you. So the twos are the prepositional openers, and the fives are the clausal openers. So the first one, beneath blank, Robin laughed, and it's a prepositional phrase opener. So an example would be picking a noun, because remember the prepositional phrase does not have a verb. So I'll look at the nouns and I'll say, beneath the tall cliff, Robin laughed. And we can use the because that's an article, and it does say that you can have an article plus a noun. I'm going to put tall cliff. I have an adjective there too. So beneath the tall cliff, Robin laughed. All right, so I'm going to have you do the next one. Number five is a clausal, so this one's going to need a verb. So you can choose one here or pick your own. Because blank, he was pleased. What do you think, Ryan?
Okay. Because they fled, he was pleased.
Okay. Because they fled, maybe it's like the bad guys or something.
Yeah.
Because they fled, he was pleased. And that works because they is the subject and fled is the verb, and that follows the pattern. Good. And then the next one is in number 2. So this one's prepositional opener. So no verb on that one. See if you can come up with something there.
Okay. Without link. Without a competition, he seemed trouble.
Okay. That'll work. Okay, next one is clausal.
Okay. Okay. As he leaped, Robin lost balance.
Good. Okay, yeah, I like that.
Okay. Past the thunderstorm, a fawn stood quietly.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Robin charged when it was safe. Hang on.
And you can make up your own verb too. You don't have to pick from the list if you want.
Okay. When he charged, it was safe.
When he charged, it was safe. Yeah. Who would he be charging when he charged? Maybe when he charged the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. When he charged the enemy.
Okay. Let's see. Because of hang on. Because of the contest, Robin was tired.
Yes, I like it.
Okay. And after Robin sprinted, he knew it was a mistake.
Good. Okay. Good job, Brian. So that was good practice for both the types of openers. And then eventually we're going to start using some of those types of openers in our writing. So that's good. And then let's go ahead and turn to the practice page, which is 159.
Okay.
And go ahead and read the sentence when you're ready.
Confidently, the stranger pulled the bowstring, aimed at the target, and released the arrow, which flew straight.
Okay, good. Released is our vocabulary. It just means freed from something that is fastened or restrained. So just letting go is released. So that's the vocabulary. Articles a and the, you can go ahead and find those. And nouns next. So where are the nouns here?
Bowstring,
Okay.
arrow,
Yep.
target,
Yep.
and stranger.
And stranger, good. Adverbs.
What about? Would released be an adverb?
Released is actually a verb. So an adverb usually has an ly, but sometimes it doesn't, but it's modifying a verb. So if you look at the verbs and try to see what's modifying, like what's helping the verb make it more obvious.
Confidently.
Yes, confidently is one. The other one is not an ly adverb, but
Is it which?
no, it's actually, so look at the verb flew
Okay,
and think of how did it fly?
it flew straight.
Yes, there you go. So those are the questions you ask for the adverb, like how, or basically how, because confidently modifies pulled. He confidently pulled and aimed. So looking at how something is the way it is. Okay, good. And then coordinating conjunction, that's the fanboys acronym.
And yeah, and
Yeah. And exactly, good job. We'll come back to the prepositional phrase. What about the who, which clause?
who, which? It would be which flew straight.
Yep. And then we'll label it with WW. And then the main clause.
The stranger pulled the bowstring, aimed at the target, and released the arrow.
Yes, correct. And it's good that you didn't include confidently because that is actually an opener. So it's not part of the main clause. Good job. All right, now we've got a bunch of verbs in here. So let's find those first.
Okay. Let's see. Aimed,
Yes.
flew,
Yes.
pulled,
Yep.
and released.
Yes. And then the subjects that go with those verbs.
Stranger.
Yes.
Let's see. Target. We know.
There's only one other, so it's going to be within this clause here, the which clause.
Okay, then is it which?
It is which. Yep. Anytime you have a who or which clause, who or which is the subject. So that is correct. Good job. Okay, and then we might as well do the opener next. So do you know what kind of opener this one is?
Is hang on, let me look.
Yeah, you can look.
Hang on, where? Is it a Y adverb?
It
Opener?
is. Yes, it is. Do you know what number it is?
I believe that was number 1. Wait, no, that's subject. Number 3.
Yes, good, Ryan. Nice job. Number 3, adverb. Or ly adverb. adverb. There we go. Awesome. Okay. And then finally the prepositional phrase.
At the target.
Yes, good. Good, good. And then capital, that's pretty easy. The first word. We need to insert 2 commas. Do you happen to know where those would go?
I would say after bowstring and confidently.
Okay, so bowstring is correct, not at confidently, because if you look at the main clause here, it's listing 3 things he did, right? So 3 verbs. The stranger pulled the bowstring, aimed at the target, and released the arrow.
Okay, so then after target.
Yes, correct. So anytime you have a list of 3 verbs or 3 nouns or 3 adjectives, that's the magic number 3. That's when you need commas between. So it was a good guess to put it right after the adverb, because sometimes that is a place where you typically want to pause. But in this sentence, there's no need for one there. It's more about the list of verbs. So that's that. And then the end mark is a period. And you did it. Good job. Any questions about this page?
Nope.
Okay, good. All right, we're done with grammar then. So your homework will be those 3 pages following.
Okay.
Okay. All right, as far as the writing part of the class, we are still working on the coconut crab research paper. And just a little reminder, I'm just gonna refresh your memory from last week and from before spring break, really. When you're writing a research paper, you have different sources. It's important to do that in order to get accurate information and maybe different takes on things or different opinions or a variety of information. And so in this book, in this binder, they've already done that for you with your source text A and B and C. And so what you're doing is gathering information about each topic. And right now, you guys just finished the outlines for the body of the coconut crab. And so the next step is to fuse those outlines together. So were you able to finish A, B, and C for the body of the coconut crab?
I was able to, but I think I left it on the scanner.
Okay, you can go grab it.
Okay.
Did you find it? Uh-oh.
I last put it on the scanner, but I don't know where I put it after that.
Uh-oh. Did you already check your binder?
I have not. Found it.
Oh, good. Yay. I was just thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And did you do yours on the big paper like this too?
I think so. Well, I did originally, but then I put it on a smaller piece of paper because I didn't know where that one was.
Oh, that's fine. But you did this part right here, A, B, and C. You finished those three.
Yeah.
Okay, and did you do the fused one or not yet?
I haven't done the fused.
That's good because that's the way I wanted it. So you did the right thing. Good job. So so what we've been doing is looking at all three of those sources. Those sources have a lot of information, different information. Remember, we made that list of possible topics, and that's how you do research. You kind of skim through and read through and look for what are these paragraphs about, and what are the topics, the possible topics about the coconut crab. We decided to start with body because it was in all three sources. So at the top here, and I have mine's blank because I reuse it for all my different classes. So at the top though, it should say at your Roman numeral 1, something like CC and then body. And I think we picked the word crustacean. Is that what you have next to your Roman numeral 1 up here?
Yeah, I have CC body large crustaceans.
Large crustaceans. Okay. And you have the same thing on all of these Roman numeral 1s, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then under that, you should have different things under A, B. I mean, some of them might be similar or the same because I did notice that the source text repeated some of the same information, and that's okay. That usually indicates that it's pretty important if you see it in all three texts. So now our job is to decide what of those three outlines that you think is the most interesting. And I know Michaela is probably listening to this recording later, so your outline, your fused outline, Michaela, might be different than Ryan's because you guys have different opinions about information. So I'm going to do this with you, Ryan, because you're here today. And so when you're looking at the outlines on top, you only need to pick 6 of the facts. If you have one extra that you really like and you think, man, that's really cool, I want to have that in my report or my research paper, you can add a 7, but we don't need to go beyond that. So really it's 6 or 7 different facts from what you have up above. Roman numeral 1 right here, that one's pretty much already done for you because you have those words at the top. So for the fuse down here, you can start by putting your CC, and I think you said body, large, and then crustacean. Was that what you had?
Yeah.
Okay. That stays the same, which is kind of nice. That's already done for you. And as far as the details underneath or the different facts about the body, go down below. So you can see there's 6 or 7, so roughly 2 from each source. But if you have 3 that you really found interesting in source A and 1 in B and 2 from C, that's okay too. It doesn't have to be even from each source. You're basically choosing 6 total from the top. So looking at source text A here, your outline, what is something that you found interesting? By the way, it doesn't have to be in a certain order either, because we're talking about their bodies. It's not like you're talking about a person and their life and you want to make sure to talk about their childhood and then growing up and stuff. You don't have to worry about order of events. You're talking about the body of the crab. So it doesn't matter what order. Do you see one from source text A that you found interesting you want to include in the fused outline?
They're brightly colored.
Okay. So what words do you have for that on your outline?
On my outline, I think I just put brightly colored.
Brightly colored. Okay, that's fine. Let's put that down. And I know that's only 2 words, but that's okay. If that's what you have for that fact, that's fine. You don't have to have 3.
Mhm.
Okay, what's another? So basically what you can do is scan through all of your A, B, and C outlines and just kind of let me know what's another interesting fact that you want to include on your fused outline.
They have a primitive lung for breathing.
Okay, good. And what are your words for that part of your outline?
Primitive lung breathe.
Okay. So you would just write this in on your fuse. You don't have to worry about drawing arrows, by the way. That when we did that the other day, that was just more for a visual. So you don't have to actually draw the arrow to the fused. We're just going to write it in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What's another interesting fact?
They're 9 pounds in the size of a dog.
Yes. Okay. That is very interesting. So did you do 9 pounds size dog?
Yes.
Okay. I think it said the size of a small dog, huh?
Yeah.
I might put
You might.
SM just for small, or you can abbreviate pounds there,
Yeah.
either way.
Okay. Let's see. They they have multi-jointed legs.
Okay. Do you know on that fact, what do you have there for that fact? Just multi-jointed legs?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. And I think they actually have 10 legs, so you could actually put 10. Describing, how many legs it has. Crazy that it has 10 legs, so 5 on each side. That's very
Yeah.
bizarre.
It
Okay.
has 2 long antennas.
Okay, 2 long antennas, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Antenna, does that have 2? I think it has 2 ends. Is that right? ANN, or are the ends at the, how do you spell antenna?
Let me check.
Let me look it up on my phone really quick. Oh, the 2 ends go after the T.
Oh.
So it's ANTENNAE. It's one of those weird words. Okay. 2 long antenna.
And the last fact is they have a large exoskeleton.
Okay. let's put the word outside after that too, just as a third word to kind of explain what that is. And it sounds like you don't need a 7. You're good with your 6. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
really have much after that. It's just repetitive because they have a
Okay.
lot of the same facts.
Yes, I agree. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So here's your fused outline. That looks really good. This is what you're going to use to write your first paragraph. And before I forget, your research paper is really only 2 paragraphs. So you don't have to worry about it being this gigantic thing. Eventually it gets, your research will become longer, but for this class, for this part of the class anyway, you're just doing 2. So this is your first paragraph. And then what we're going to do next is work on the next outlines for the next topic. And then if there's still time in class, I'm going to let you get started on your homework. That way you have less to do later, since you're, it's just you and it's going pretty fast with this. So, now, so we're going to start a new outline, and you can either use a new piece of paper from your binder, like this big one, or
Okay.
you can use lined paper if you prefer that. It doesn't really matter as long as you can fit it. You're still going to do A, B, and C, and then fused all on one page. So whatever you prefer.
All right. I got the big piece of paper out.
Okay, good. So go ahead and fold it like we did before. So you have 6 squares. You remember how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a minute to set it up. So you're basically going to do the same thing. The only thing that's different is you're going to make this a Roman numeral 2, but I'll wait till you get ready for that.
Okay.
All right. So, you're going to set it up the same way with ABC on top. And instead of Roman numeral 1, you're going to put a Roman numeral 2 for the second paragraph. And then 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 in parentheses.
Okay.
So pretty much exactly like the first one, except for Roman numeral 2 everywhere. So I'll let you finish. I'll let you set that up real quick and then we'll talk. I mean, take your time. You don't have to rush. It's okay. I know it takes a minute.
All right, ready.
Okay. And I want you to also get out these notes from, I think we actually did this before spring break, but you should have it in your binder, possible topics.
Okay.
You got that?
Yep.
All right. And we're basically looking for how often things are talked about in the different sources. So obviously we picked body because that was first and it's in all three sources. Do you see any other topics that are in all three sources?
Let's see. Diet.
Yeah, diet. So go ahead and circle diet in each row. And then you can connect it. And that's what I would recommend. Now, when you're doing your own research paper on a different topic, you might not see it in all three sources or five sources or however many you're using. So but you definitely want to pick something that's in more than one source because it'll give you more information to choose from. If you just have like humans, for example, are just in two spots here, there's still going to be good information from there, but it won't be as much information to choose from like for diet. So for Roman numeral 2, we're going to focus on the diet. Okay. So going back to your outline here, go ahead and start with CC, coconut crab, and then we're going to put the word diet. And we don't really know yet what we're going to write with that until we start looking at the different sources, and you'll see a pattern with some of the words, and then we can add more to that Roman numeral. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. The next step is to actually look at your source text. So go ahead and get out source text A, which is this one from page 119. And you're going to need source text B and C too. So go ahead and get all three of those out.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay. So looking at source text A, I see the word diet in the second paragraph here. So we're just going to focus on that paragraph. We don't have to read the whole thing, the whole text. But we do need to read the whole paragraph here. So what it also has the word strength in our notes in the margin. So we're not going to talk about strength. We're going to stay focused just on their diet. Like what do they eat? Maybe how they eat it. But focusing on what they eat mainly. So what I want you to do is, and remember looking back at I'm going to kind of put them side by side like that. So you can see we really only need 3 facts. You can have 4 and 5 if you find other stuff that you find interesting in here. But so what I'm going to have you do is just to yourself, you can read through that paragraph. When you come to an interesting fact about their diet, just tell me what the sentence is, and then we'll decide together what keywords you want to put in your outline. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
They eat fleshy fruits
Fleshy fruits. Okay.
and plant litter.
Okay. Yes, I had to look that up because I was like, what in the world is plant litter? And I don't know if you know what that is, but basically just parts of the plant that have fallen off, like dead leaves or, old fruit or something like that. That's what plant litter is. I thought that was kind of funny because it kind of sounds like cat litter, and we know what that is.
Yeah.
So it's basically the droppings from a plant. But yeah, that's good. So fleshy fruits and plant litter, how should we put that in your outline?
I would say fruits and plant litter.
Fruits, plant litter, okay. Yeah. We could probably look back on that word fleshy. Do you know what that means by fleshy fruits?
Soft fruits that are a little squishy, like
Yeah.
plums and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get past the skin, it's like flesh. It's like spongy, like you're saying. There's lots of it's filling as opposed to like a pomegranate, for example. That one doesn't really have fleshy content. So you're right. That's exactly right. All right, let's put fruits and plant litter. Okay. What else do you think?
They eat meat too.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy to me that they eat meat.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's that word omnivore. That's pretty interesting because obviously both.
Yeah. So I'd say omnivore eats meat.
Okay.
They climb trees to eat birds while they're sleeping.
Yeah, that is interesting to me too. Sleeping victims. Okay. How can we write that in a keyword?
I would say climb, um, uh, eat birds.
Mm-hmm. Climb, eat. Yeah. It's kind of like cool to include sleeping though. What if we did instead of bird, a symbol of a bird, like a flying bird? I think we've used that before.
Yeah.
So what if we do climb, eat, and then the symbol of a flying bird, or actually sleeping?
Okay.
Okay. Any others, or do you want to stop there?
Let me look through.
Okay.
Oh, they sometimes eat cats and rats.
That's crazy. That's kind of gross.
And
Yeah.
then and then they take them to their lair and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That's creepy. And pick apart. That's so gross. Yeah, let's see, because all that's good. Cats, rats, pick. Cats, rats, or drag. Let's see, how can we put this?
what about cats, rats, lair?
Yeah.
and then we go further into depth when I write my paragraph.
Yeah. Well, what we could do actually is cats. Yeah, let's do that. Cats, rats, layer. And then we could actually use 5 to keep that going and say like, drag, pick apart. Kind of add some more words right here so that you can keep that going. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because those are kind of like, it's creepy how they do that, but it'd be cool to include that in your paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's it from there.
Yeah, okay, so let's look at source text B.
Okay.
And that's gonna be, I think it's the second paragraph there too.
All right. So it talks about the fleshy fruits again,
Okay.
and the plant matter, like leaves, pitch, and fallen trees.
Okay. Let's put for Roman numeral 2 though, let's put CC and diet. Yeah, do you want to include something more about that?
Uh,
You want to keep looking?
I'll keep looking.
Okay.
They eat dead animals,
Yeah.
and they're scavengers.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think for that part?
Uh, let's see. Dead animals, scavengers.
Okay, I like it.
Okay. They eat smaller, younger crabs or coconut crabs.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like cannibalism.
it is cannibalism, exactly. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good one too. What should we put there?
Small CC crabs.
Okay. Actually, you could just do small CC because that's coconut crabs. And then do you want to put cannibals or cannibalism?
Yeah.
Which one are you putting, cannibals or cannibalism?
Cannibalism.
Okay. And then later, when you go to write your paragraph, if you change that, that's okay. You don't have to keep it exactly the same.
Okay. So we could, here's another sentence. In
Okay.
2017, a giant crab was filmed stalking, crippling, and consuming a seabird.
Wow, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So I'd say CC, crippling, consuming seabird.
Okay, I like it.
Hmm.
And there's more in the back too.
How about they break open coconuts with their large pinchers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're on the back side. Okay, I see that. Okay. So how can we condense that one?
Coconut large pinchers or CC coconut large pinchers.
Yeah, I don't know if we need CC. You could do break coconut. And then for large, you could put LG for abbreviation for large, and then pinchers. What do you think?
All right, that works.
Okay. Oh, I said break coconut, I think. Did we say break open or break coconut?
Break coconut.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of like how that last sentence says coconut crabs are patient and determined omnivores. I wonder if that's what we could use at your Roman numeral here. Like diet and then either patient or determined. I think it's true because it's crazy how these sea creatures actually plot out, attacking and dragging and tearing apart. It's like they have this instinct.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that would work.
You like the word patient or determined?
I would go with determined.
Yeah. And then omnivores. I know we said omnivores in A, but I think that's a good overview type term for that opening sentence. So let's do that. Let's do determined and then omnivores, I guess, plural. So that's what you could put on all three source text A, B, and C, and even the fused, you can have the same thing because that kind of repeats. So CC, diet, determined, omnivores. So we're out of time already, but you got pretty far. This was going to be part of your homework, so you did good with that. So your homework is going to be to finish C and
Okay.
not the fused. You don't have to do the fused yet. We'll do that one again in class next week. So you have two things. You're going to write your paragraph from Roman numeral 1 that we just made your fused outline. So you'll use that for your paragraph and then finish C for diet. And that's your homework for writing. So just peek at the checklist really quick before you go so we can make sure we're aware of everything on there. That's how I grade your work. So make sure you use this. The top is the usual stuff. Just don't forget the topic clincher sentences. And then don't worry about the title yet because you're going to wait till you're done with that second paragraph. But you've got a lot of dress up words now. So each paragraph needs 6 things underlined. So you're going to have your ly adverb, who, which clause, strong verb, because clause, quality adjective, and then your Asia, www.asia clause. And your banned words, the ones you really want to be careful of are eat, ate, Because obviously you're going to be talking a lot about their diets. So you want to make sure to stay away from Eat 8. Yeah, so you know what to do for your homework then?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, that's it for today. You did great, Ryan. Good job. I'll stop the recording here. And